Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome for today's new episode. Today I will be having a playthrough
Fire
on...
Emblem. Engage.
That's right. It is a Fire Emblem Engage playthrough. The whole point of this is to just have some fun, so let's go into the character creation to showcase how hard this challenge will be, because this is supposed to be the hardest challenge. That's right. So first of all, I just picked the default name because I couldn't really think of one, and I just make the birthday the day of this video coming out, and I decided to play on normal, and after deciding for a little bit, I decided to click classic. That's right, it took me a while to do this, and I sure hope I don't come to regret that. And because in the spirit of this challenge, I decided to even make it a little bit interesting by playing on random. And since I don't have Nintendo Switch online, I decided to play on unconnected, and I think, as you could already tell, this is supposed to be a pretty stupid challenge with a amazing transition. So this is a joke item only playthrough, and happy April Fool's Day. But I will be mentioning, I will be also using the engaged weapons and staves. That's just because there's some parts that I messed up in this playthrough, and I used the engaged weapon as a result. Because of that. So, and stats are just because I barely get any of the treats anyways, that is why we're gonna also allow both of them, but this is also supposed to be a stupid challenge, so don't take the rule set too seriously. Anyways, now we're gonna do this, we're gonna showcase the tutorial fight as it is, you know, the intro to the game. Again, for me at least, it's been a while. I kind of forgot what to do overall. But luckily, this is a easy fight. Now, one thing that I should mention while showcasing this tutorial is I will be skipping through most of the chapters early on. So pretty much all the way up to chapter 6, I will be skipping. Now, we enter this mysterious grotto, wondering what happened, because we're going to be meeting the best creature in this game. That's right. It's going to be our best friend. And the most powerful unit in this playthrough as well. So that is going to be a big thing. Now, because I'm unoriginal, I decided to just name it the default name.
I like that name.
So it's fine.
It's nice to meet you.
So my goal for this one is to, my goal for this pet as well, or I guess best friend, is to get to the max friendship level as well, and we're gonna also dress it up because, well, we gotta make it look drippy, obviously. Anyways, I decided to give it the matching style because, well, make it look like me as well because, you know, it's just kind of funny like that. But anyways, that's pretty much it. This is pretty much going to be the whole, like, the outfit you'll see. I don't think I ever changed it, the remainder of this playthrough. Anyways, you know, that happens and everything. And sorry that I'm, like, you know, you might hear my throat and things. That's just because I'm doing this all in, like, one full video, which is a little bit hard. Anyways, that's besides the point. Now it's on to chapter 6. This is actually important for two things: to get a new emblem, which will become very useful, and also because, well, we finished chapter 6. There's a reason why I want to beat chapter 6. Sorry, to beat chapter 6 early on. I don't know why I just messed up on that, but that's fine. That's fine. Anyways, beating chapter 6 introduces many things, right? As mentioned earlier, this is a joke run playthrough, which means I have to wait and unlock the well. That's literally the only other way I can use it. Now, I completely forgot how to use the well, so one quick Google search later, and we are all fine and dandy. We get the cutscene and everything, thus unlocking it. Now, one thing that the well also introduces is the Fel Xenologue. I will not be doing the Fel Xenologue. Number one, it sucks. I do not like chapter 5 and 6. They are boring as, and also because, well, you'll see later down the line. I will showcase it in the next chapter. But first of all, I decided to go and upgrade the level. I have to still do a battle with, you know, regular items because otherwise I can't begin this challenge because the well requires you to do one battle first before you can get anything new. So I have to do it. Now, luckily, I had already anticipated this, and I had saved one of the 2 paralogs that are available in this point in time of the playthrough, which is, you know, the budding talent. Now, one thing that I should also mention, even though I am removing the Fel Xenologue, I will also be using the DLCs. Now, I will not be unlocking them instantly, as you know, it's just gonna be way too overpowered. But I will be unlocking 2 pretty soon, obviously once I get a few more new characters and as such, but it will happen before chapter 10. And if you don't know what that is, that chapter is where, you know, the turning point happens. So that's where by chapter 10 you'll know that I at least have technically 3 of the DLC bracelets. Anyways, as you can see earlier, I did not get anything from the ancient well. So I have to change the upgrade level because I actually tried earlier to redo the battle, if I remember correctly, and I didn't actually get anything. I got the same rewards and as such, so I have to just change the level. Now luckily, that's pretty easy because I have the DLC. So we redo the paralog again, and since this paralog is not like the hardest one out of any of the other missions, we get it done pretty fast, and thus finishing that as a result. So now I go back and I do get a little bit lucky and get 2 items, which I was only hoping for 1. So I was actually happy that I ended up getting 2. Now granted, one of the worst things about those 2 items is that I only really have 2 characters I can technically use them. Technically 3, because Fram and I kind of forgot his name. I'm gonna call him John. There we go. Also, you know, need to, you know, can only split 1. And since the Divine Dragon has yet to go into the Divine Dragon class, I can't make her use that. So this is why I allow staves to be used, because otherwise a Lear would literally just be a meat shield. And I don't want that. So let's go on to chapter 7, as I want to, you know, get Anna for obvious reasons because of her gold passive. It's just kind of nice. But yeah. Anyways, one little quick battle to showcase one thing. Now as you can see, during this battle, the characters I do not have it other than Alear, because Alear is mandatory and I cannot take out in this battle. I will make Alear just a heal bot, because I don't think a meat shield is fun, and also because you'll see why throughout this battle. I genuinely needed this healing, so otherwise I would have lost many times and just had to have hoped I got lucky, which is not fun, or restarted the playthrough, which I don't think that's a fun thing to do. Just keep restarting until we get that lucky. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, making Alear, you know, just using the remaining staves just to heal in case of anything, in case of the 2 enemies. Now also this battle gives us 3 ally characters, sorry.
We must
which,
deal with them
now that I
quickly
think
and
about
return
it,
to
I
the
should have
castle.
probably give
There's not a moment to
the
spare.
bow, because he is strong, at least once you unlock him. So definitely on hindsight I probably messed that up, but it's fine. So one thing that I end up doing really stupidly is I don't actually remove their weapons, so I just take them out of range, which for people wondering why that's bad, is if they're at range they can actually attack, and thus, you know, failing the challenge. Another thing is, as you can see, I have to engage. So one thing you'll see throughout mostly late game playthrough is how these weapons will start to really suck. But since this is also early chapter, it is really easy. After also taking still a long time, mind you, on realizing, wait a second, I should take out their weapon. Luckily, you know, they don't get attacked or anything. So we get to kill some of the enemies, get some lucky crits. Now, here is where I will also be explaining the Felsian one, the reason why I won't be doing it. So I'm in another playthrough of mine that's already gone to the final chapter, and as you can see, I'm showcasing every single character's inventory, because, well, not a single one of them have the goofy item or joke item, because this is like a set inventory, which is really stupid. I do not like that decision at all. So just making that a little bit more, you know, unfortunate, but that's why this playthrough will not be including the Felsian unlock. So any of the characters that you might have liked from the Felsian unlock, they will not be even remotely in this battle. And I'm also showing the full inventory just to showcase like how there is no joke item, even if it was like offhand or anything like that. There is literally nothing. So I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick because, well, I'm thirsty. Anyways, Anyways, now let's return back to this battle. And let me get another drink before I die and choke. This is gonna be a bit funny, isn't it? So now it's time to resume the battle. Now this is why I mentioned that Aaliyah was going to be used as a staff bot and everything like that, because, well, I just have to make it where not everyone gets it. That's why if you see the obscure construct, and you might be wondering, why did I place it there? Well, that's why. Also, we get a crit, and can you guess how much damage we do? Leaving the enemy exactly at 1 HP. How fun is that? This is unfortunate, and luckily, you know, and the more and more weapons we get of these joke items, the easier this playthrough will become. So it's not that bad. But at least during this battle, it's just hard because I have to make sure that I, first of all, finally remove the items from all of these characters. But I have to also make sure that I don't, you know, have my characters die. Being this in classic mode, I actually want to do a little mini challenge for myself, and that's to keep every character alive. But luckily, you know, at least Gene, or John, sorry, I think that's, yeah, no, John, we're just gonna call him John, you know, because they pronounce his name a bit weird and I kind of just forgot. You know, it's kind of just like, it's just a little bit hard. Now luckily, since this is normal, nothing bad happens. 37% chance, why would it kill me? Yeah. This is another thing that just happens, and that's just getting just bad RNG in this game. Now, again, because of it being classic and my goal of wanting to keep every character alive, I actually have to go back. Luckily, this is normal mode. This is not like the hardest thing ever. We do have to engage and make Alcaris and Citrine use as bait, because otherwise we do like lose. I didn't want to do that, but I have no other choice but to, so yeah, it's not anything I could do. Now luckily we get to clear most of the enemy stages, and now we're in the final bit of the stage where we have to kill Hortensia, otherwise we will die. But the big thing is, because she's actually the first unit with the emblem, or I guess dark emblem in this sense, we actually have to go a bit closer to get the all for one attack. Otherwise I can't do anything. She won't actually attack otherwise, which is weird, but it's fine. So I move my homie into there, in a little bit closer. I actually originally do change my mind and reset because I didn't know that you had to do that. So I was like, wait a second, might as well just, you know, put the bow character. But as you can see, it doesn't. So I have to put one character that is a bit tankier and can actually do damage while that's happening. Granted, now that I think about it, it's an engage move, so I would still not be doing any attack. But you know, who cares? So luckily we get a bit lucky, and it won't insta-kill my characters. And there is even an attack that misses, so pretty good for me at least. Now it's time to get the boss fight done. Unfortunately, however, I end up dying again. As you can see, just like having realistically only 2 characters fight is just a little bit annoying. But again, this is not like by any means super duper hard, because just playing a little bit correctly is all you really do need. Just move, get the hit right there, and then just move right there. Go into a spot that it's with more avoid.
There's nothing to
fear. As you can see by me still playing a little bit bad, but like, you know, it's not that hard anyways. We get to kill get to go to phase 2 of Hortensia because she has an extra life, which is a little unfortunate, but we go into this avoid tile and end the turn. And with that, I get a little bit lucky and get this whore out of my screen. I don't like Golden Mary. I'm not sorry. And we get to finish the battle, as you guys can see. And now finishing Hortensia now.
No fair. I lost.
I think this fight like took me like 20 minutes to do, but that was also with like 2 characters. So you know, it's not that bad. This is also the only character in this whole battle that actually does not drop, I think in the whole game, that does not end up dropping a ring, which kind of sucks, you know. Having Lucina would have been nice, but I guess we'll get her later. so it's not the worst case scenario. Now, I get unlucky as well, and I don't get to get anything from this ancient well, which really sucks, because you know, going through 2 characters in the next chapter battle, it's not gonna be good. I get a little bit lucky, however, and get the training, so I decided to just let me see and test if training will be the saving grace for me to get more joke items. Again, the whole thing with this playthrough as well, especially for the early game, is having to rely on luck. I have to make sure that everything goes fortunate. Now, since this is also training, I can actually take off a leer, so I do that to make it more fair to the rules of this. Now, even though I do end up dying, one thing I want to mention is early on, before chapter 10 or 11, I actually try to make use of not trying to go with the engage weapons, as that was the whole point of this playthrough, was not to rely on that. The reason why I allowed it later down the line with the rules is generally because I use Warp Ragnarok without realizing it uses Ragnarok. I know that sounds really stupid in hindsight, but it was at times the only way I could actually kill one enemy. So that's why I allowed it. Anyways, we do get a little bit lucky and get 4 new items that we can use. The scroll cake, the book, the knife, and the axe. Which is really good because that is actually more than I expected. So I can now use a bit more characters, and now it's time to do chapter 8, which is I forget what this is called actually. The Kingdom of Might. Yeah, that makes sense. Broder's chapter. Now, one thing that also happens with this chapter, which is a tad bit unfortunate, is, well, we get access to Diamant. And the reason why that's important for this battle is, well, because Diamant is the only character that will have a certain emblem. Now, as you can see, we will only have Emblem Roy, which we can't give it to any of the other characters, which is just kind of annoying, right? But anyways, it's fine. It's not the worst case scenario, and it's not gonna mess me up that much. We can't use him, however, though. That is a thing. And since this is a pretty easy chapter, we get done after quite a few turns. I think it's actually like 8 or 7, I think. I could be wrong. Turns? It could be 9 actually. But yeah, we get a bit lucky, and now we also get to keep Leaf as the next emblem ring, so we can just give it to another character. Again, the emblem rings are just important because they do give some nice stat boost. I was right about 8 turns, there we go. But yeah, after that I do go and back to the ancient well. Now, one thing I'm not going to show every single time I go back to the ancient well, as that will get really repetitive, but I want to show you the ones where they do help. For instance, this one being early game, I end up getting also a brand new weapon for the lands, so we can have a new type of enemy character. And this is also where I end up unlocking the DLC. At this point in time, I was originally not going to do the DLCs, but luckily, and also because I love this game, I allow the Emblem of Rivals to be used because of my just genuine love for Fire Emblem Three Houses. There will be more Fire Emblem Three Houses talk in this video. You'll see it later down the line. But to showcase, you know, the whole thing, the Emblem Edelgard thing, just to showcase, I do have a lot of hours on Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is one of my favorite games. So I do enjoy it. That's why I allowed the DLC emblems, because I was gonna use this regardless. And this is also another reason as to why I allowed the weapons, because, well, the Sword of the Creator is the best one. And also, I finally get to ascend my character to the Divine Dragon. Yes, it took me a long time to do this because I was thinking on, I think, an Awakening, where you want to level them up or get them to their highest class a bit later so they can get more stat points. Or maybe it's a different game and I kind of just forgot it. Anyways, it's fine. And I switch it with Fram, so I can now finally attack as Alir. And Alir will now finally be into combat. So because of this, I decided to do Anna's Paralog, because I think I have now 8 characters or 7 characters for this battle, which is just kind of nice to have. So, and it's now, I think it's doable, because again, it's not the hard part. So we take out Diamant, and now we have it. So
Dang,
now one thing that I want to mention as well in this paralog
There
is
was a-
ally characters, aka the green circle outline. If they ever do damage, attack, or anything of the sort, get a kill or anything, that is fair game, as I'm not controlling them, so I can't even give them the attempt to give them the weapon. So the joke weapon. And as you can see, I actually do end up doing that in this playthrough as well, by trading it a little bit later. But as you can see, we removed the item from mana after they become an ally. Once they join our team, that is when they can no longer use any other item besides the joke ones. Also, as you can see, I'm trading the joke item with Butcheron to take him out, to pretty much like remove him for the rest of the playthrough. But anyways, that is one just main thing. Now, luckily, we're at an 84% chance, and instead of wanting to give Anna more XP, yeah, she fails that hit. But luckily, she doesn't die. Well, I thought it was gonna happen, but 80% chance is insane. So I just kill her. I kill this boss with Hinaka because, well, it's just easy for me. And with that, we are now done, and now have unlocked Anna as a new character. She will pretty much be used throughout the rest of the playthrough. And also, we get the Biting Blade, another Lollipop, and, you know, the axe and the bow. So a few good weapons now as well, and we can start using characters. Now I want to say, throughout these beginning chapters, I think around until chapter 20 is when I fully decide on the team that I want to use. So these chapters you might see some characters but not see them at the end, and that's just because I wasn't really sure on what characters I wanted to have a team with and what characters I didn't. But now another thing is the upgrading. You can't upgrade these weapons. The only way you can increase their damage is by engraving an emblem. This is also why I allow the DLCs. But this is stupid. I don't get why. I know they're a joke item, but it's dumb. Okay? If it's a joke item, why can't I make the, you know, the chocolate more sharper, bro? Anyways. Now this is also when I do the first Divine Paralog, and it takes me a bit, but we are done with this. Also getting the 30% off as well. This is going to be just nice because I am pretty much using the well every battle. So, you know, saving on money is just really good. And we also get even more. This is also where I get the treat for like the very first time. Again, as mentioned earlier, I get the treat a total of 2 times. Now, at first, I also didn't know that the treat was for staffs. I wasn't 100% certain, and I probably could have searched it up. But I am glad that I didn't use it for, you know, only this as the staff, because, like I said, I get this 3 times. This would have sucked ass just using that. So luckily, we're all good. I also decided to do the Veronica battle, because, well, Veronica doesn't really have any other character associated with them. I will have like a special one, so it doesn't matter. And also because, you know, summoning a character is kind of funny for this playthrough. I will also explain more on the summoning feature for characters a little bit later, aka the next main chapter battle. But it's time. We get Veronica again. Pretty easy, just a little bit long. And yes, like I mentioned earlier, Veronica does have the summon ability, which is important because it can give us 5 stars. And you guys want to know how many 5 stars we get in total of this playthrough? Less than 5. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Again, I don't know that going forward into this video, but you know, it's now chapter 9, and this is also where we get another character, further seeing this dude die. I'm not gonna really include too much of the main you know, cutscene until pretty later, because the whole joke for this video originally was supposed to be skipping the cutscenes because haha, I can do that. But I didn't find them funny. And also, this is important. Alcarus with Veronica. The reason why I showcase this is because this is the only emblem that Alcarus will use throughout the remainder of the game. And I think that's just kind of funny.
Are you alright?
But also Jada.
Oh, yes.
We also unlock Jade, which is important, and now we make her stop using, you know, her actual weapon, which she was getting a few kills with.
It's time to honor your contract.
Now it doesn't matter.
I see you.
And also, this is where we summon the characters. Summon
some characters actually have one major advantage. Any weapon that they have, I will let them use. This is because, well, you know, I'm not always going to get the best weapon, and also because I think it's kind of just fun. Now, as you can see by that low battery thing as well, it's actually a little funny story. I ended up pausing my recording because, well, I'm gonna, you know, get the charger and everything. I kind of forgot where my charger was, and essentially I almost ended up skipping this whole battle while not recording. So that's why it's a little rushed in that ending, but we get it done, and I actually managed to realize just in time. This does happen with some battles where I kind of skip them. I think one of these song battles, I pretty much skipped for like all of it. It's only one. I don't do this too many times because I skip in between the battles, not the end of the battles, which is good. We also start to promote a few characters, not every single character, as I don't have that many master
Cathedral
skills.
is our...
And now it's also time for Chapter 10, where this is a actual important battle. Where now it's time for me to maybe get story convenient, but who cares? We see the Fell Dragon, some kind of loser, and also because this is a normal mode, I can kind of die. But again, we do die a few times. Chloe being the first one because of
I cannot accept
massive range. But again, killing Hyacinth is pretty easy. This is a normal playthrough. And with that, we're done with Chapter 10, thus completing this battle. And now it's time for cutscenes. What? So we see this plumber, teacher.
No,
honestly, I kind of forgot. I
Bale
mean,
has a time
Sombra.
crystal,
Oh,
and
my bad.
I don't have to tell you.
So now it's
but
time
we
for
can at
Chapter
least-
11. And this is important because we don't have the time crystal. So I have to make sure I actually play smart, which this whole playthrough was not. There's gonna be mentions at the end of the video, but what the things I did that were really stupid and also intentionally dumb. So yes, in the spirit of this challenge, I actually removed 2 out of the 3 bracelets that I have because I think keeping Veronica's emblem, it's just funner. But that's really it, and it's not that bad. Just, you know, more of a in the spirit of this challenge type of thing. After getting a bit more down this map, we get 2 emblems because of the story, which is the Emblem of Blazing, and also, which is my second favorite Fire Emblem game because I'm a top tier blazer for 3 houses, is, that's right, the Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm not gonna lie, I love this like intro song or song that plays during both of these Awakening emblems. It's just really good. I don't know what it is and what it's called, but I really like it. And also we get the time crystal as well, which means that now I have the ability to ascend. We lose it one more character. Again, Chloe just died throughout these 2 chapters, but we get to escape because that's the whole point. We don't have to kill every single enemy, which thankfully I would have probably been screwed. Again, I start to ascend a few other characters. I actually don't, you know, fully like give everyone their master class or their better classes yet. But I think it's just funny because you can see the bow. I love this bow. I just love the how goofy it is. And this is where I start to do something where, like I said, it's stupid. I intentionally give some of my other characters more just worse class overall because I think it would be funny to do that. So that's why Alfredo here is a lance fighter. And also I decided to create a few more bond rings because why not? Which actually results in me getting 2 S ones, which is pretty nice. I didn't expect to get the S Crom one, but that was pretty nice. I used those a few times because some battles are pretty hard without them. But it's just because of the stat bonuses. Anyways, it's time to start the Awakening Divine Paralog because, well, we just got Lucina.
Awaken.
So it'll be a little special
Emblem of
interaction.
Bonds.
I will not be showcasing in this video, but it's time to awaken Emblem of Bonds. Again, I do enjoy Awakenings. I have played through this game a lot. Let's let this play out.
Awake at last.
There also will be
like I
the
slept
side
for
character,
quite a while.
or technically main
Guess I
character.
can't
Robin
tease you for
in
those
this
long naps of yours
emblem,
anymore.
which means it's actually a 2 boss in
hello.
one stage.
Ah, sorry.
Which is a little
We're just getting our bearings.
Little
Nice to meet you.
tedious.
I'm
but
Krom.
it's not too hard.
He's the leader of the shepherds. I'm Robin, his
So
tactician.
it's time to get.
As if I knew
I also let this cutscene play out because awakening. So, because again, it's normal mode, not too hard.
Figured out my plan.
We get to insta kill Robin, and even though he says I figured out his plan,
I
that's
challenge
an
my
absolute
fate.
lie. I
This is
get
it.
And now it's also decided.
I'll go first. Left on you.
Just
Me too. What fun!
May I?
And we actually get 7 all attacks, which is really fun, and I really want to do that. So I murk him with 7 other characters. When I'm playing as Dragon, we get that guaranteed if I remember correctly. And with that, we're done with that. Thus getting the Emblem Krom for this battle. So that's just pretty nice, and we can also use Emblem Robin for some attacks, which is always just nice. And the 11th sword is pretty good too. But anyways, now that we got that, it's time to do another one. We do Hector's stage, or Hector's Divine Paralog, because we just got Lyn as well. Every time I got characters that are from their games, I decide to use them for this, because it's pretty nice. So, this is pretty easy. And there we go. We summon Hector. I have not played through his story yet.
I'll finish this.
We try to use the Grand Pixie. It's a fairly easy battle too, just beating it pretty fast. Actually, no, I think it took a bit because I got poisoned like I think like 10 times. There's a lot of mistakes I made, but that's besides the point. Thus finishing it in 15 chapters. You can also see that it's gonna be one MVP of this challenge throughout most of the playthrough. It's also time to do Lucina's Paralog because, well, we get a bigger or a raise
As if I knew.
which is just kind of a foreground for any other characters. And again, not a hard fight as well. This is actually the Paralog of any of the emblems because, you know, it's in normal mode, and also because it's pretty short. So yeah, it's 2 turns, not that hard. And the good thing is we get a increase in level, like I said earlier, in bond level. But one thing I should mention, I don't actually do all of the paralogs, as because I got the DLC characters, I'm like, you know what, that's good enough for me. Now it's time for chapter 12. And no, that's not a joke, by the way. Because of that, I really don't feel like this. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Now, through this chapter, I actually made a few mistakes. It's possible for my characters to die, and also some of the new allies for the battle. Luckily, it's not a hard battle, so after just changing up a few of my tactics, we are now done. And now it's time to go into chapter 14. As you can see, I did skip chapter 13. That was entirely by accident.
As if I knew.
I really didn't mean to. So, luckily, again, not a hard fight, but this actually improves one of the best elevators that we will get in this whole playthrough. Honestly, just like the best one. Like, there's none better, and I'm totally not exaggerating. But we get violence, definitely. You know, I love 3 houses. I like to mention, again, I will be talking more glades for this game. You know, throughout
Together.
And now I decided to make the executive decision to only use Byleth for Valir. I used Goddess Dance a total of 3 times. Yeah, normally you want to make use of Goddess Dance for other characters, but I'm not going to do that. I gotta play dumb. We also decided to do Lyn's Paralog because, you know, some of the battles you saw or seen where I made use of Astral Storm was pretty nice, so I wanted to keep that ability up for the remainder of the battle. And it was pretty nice. That's also time for chapter 15, which will introduce 2 brand new characters
Our paths
into
diverge.
the mix. Both the Dancer, which is the best class, and also Emblem, which Fire Emblem Fates, it's a already weird game. So now it's time to do the other 2 paralogs, the Divine Paralog, because we got Ike. And I know I did skip him
me showcasing him, but that, like I said earlier, I did pause the recording for that chapter, which was by pure accident. And also, I think like I've seen some of Soren's like lines for dialogue, and I actually think he's amazing. His lines, his voice acting did amazing. The two monotone, which is great. But even the EDS character, he beat his ass, and he's and also I just love that he's extremely infatuated with Ike. It's just funny. With that, the battle is done. So now it's time to also do Camilla, which is a character I don't like. So you are going to not see me do anything with this cutscene. You're going to see that, and guess what you're going to see? And boom, done. There we go. That's it. I don't like this character. I think she introduces way too much like fan service into this game. And also Fire Emblem Fates being already a weird game. That's why you don't see me suddenly for
It was a good fight.
Fire Emblem Fates is just weird, man. And now we also do Ike's paralog as well because, well, we just did Soren, so obviously. And his is not a pretty hard one as well. It's a fairly easy one too. And with that, we're done with this. Now it's time to begin Chapter 16, where we will be introduced to technically two, but realistically, which is not showcase, but is for Emblem Erica. Which I have actually played Sacred Stones. I played one chapter because I was more focused on trying to beat Fire Emblem Blazing. Now it's time for Chapter 17. I did skip these battles, and I didn't want to showcase any like more of the deaths up until later in this video because, well, I didn't want to make this video too long. And this, I did have some occasional where I made some very cool decisions, but like and caused some deaths. But after doing a little bit of fixing and changing with time, it's fine. And also some Biha get slipped, get Biha, so it was just I had to include that. Anyways. It's also time to do Chapter 18. This introduces another character into the next of the game. I think the final recruitable character, but we never use them, so it's fine. That's not a joke. I don't really use them. And we just beat the trial like that. Now it's also time for Chapter 19, which this one was actually kind of a little bit annoying. And it kind of made me die a bit. I know it says Dead Town, but I'm kind of a dumb town, so I ended up visiting it twice. Yeah, I did this twice, by the way. That's not a joke. You can see right there, I ended up doing it twice earlier, but I skipped back. So I decided to, you know what, just frick it and just go kill this boss. Now luckily, we should be able to kill him. Hopefully no other character dies. That would suck, you know, honestly. Get a little bit lucky. And I failed. I should get hit. Which is nice. So that's completing this chapter and everything like that. Chapter 19 is done, and it's also now time to realize, wait a second, I just realized I had not been giving out some of my character skills. I didn't decide to give every single character Canter and everything like that, but I do give it to some other characters. But I give it to, I think, for this point in time, I give it to 3 or 4 other characters. Yes, man. SP is running low. Now it's time for Chapter 20, which is the Kingless Castle, and it's not too hard. Yours is just kind of like weird. He'll try to target you in the bottom right corner when you first start off the map, which I realized.
Let me set you straight.
I tried to.
You
I
are
kind
the
of forgot
child of the Fell Dragon.
And also, so now we realize that, wait a second, that Summer was our daddy. Anyways, also we get to the max bar, which is pretty nice, and always, you know, awesome for that. Now it's time to do the paralog for Byleth. Obviously, why would I not do this one? Because
depending on the wielder, power can be used for good. That's why the heart, the one controlling the power, is important.
The heart? That would mean my heart determines how the power is used. Huh.
Come and get it!
Again!
But obviously, this is a normal battle.
I have nothing left to teach.
Hard or challenging. So it's pretty fairly easy, and with that, we also get to max level. So now we are done. Now, it's also when this is, after this point onward, I don't think I do I actually do 2 more paralogs, but after that I don't do really any more because, well, I don't really need to. And you can see one thing where it will be showcased. Now it's time for chapter 21. This is another thing important for the story, or technically the mess of whatever this story is. This story is always weird, man. If I don't engage the story, it's always a bit weird. Like the paralog, or the first ever chapter you do, or battle, it's never really mentioned again, which is weird. Why do that? But anyways, it's time for chapter 21, and I hated this stage. I'm just gonna say that out loud. Seeing Belle die made me happy. This stage sucked. I'm not gonna say why yet, but after skipping, after deciding to skip on cutscenes, I realized, oh no, I'm dead. Or technically, Alir's dead. What a fucking noob. But yeah, no, technically Alir dies, and it's revealed in a pass that we actually defied against Daddy.
You don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah. And we decide to, and then we die again. So we died a total of 2 times already. That's insane. How do we keep coming back to life? Is it plot? I actually do like this little reveal of how your character. I just hope they lean more.
Rise up.
Anyways, it's time for chapter 22 because this is a continuous one, and we come back again for a 3rd time. Again, how many times have we come back in this battle or in this game? Oh man, I'm just saying, the Fell's Unilog, the Divine Dragon should have done that.
I am sorry.
Alright, anyways, we come back and now have to do this chapter. This was actually a pretty decent chapter because Kagetsu just took care of the reinforcements. And I also die again, but because of plot convenience, and
Dragon
also
Child,
I will let this cutscene
you
play,
who
so I
fought
stop
bravely
talking.
even after death, would you rise once more?
I want to fight. It can't end here. No matter how hard it may be, I have to continue until the world is safe. I must fight. Like the emblems have.
I have heard your
Oh my god.
wish. And
I actually do
thus,
like the way this cutscene is done.
our power is yours.
And with that, we come back to life for the 4th time. But this time, I can fly. And also, I'm glowing. And with this ring attached to my characters, I think index me now. Yeah. Close enough. Ring finger. There you go. Get it? We are now an emblem! Oh my god! I never use that sword, by the way. I use it for the first 2 chapters. So now it's also time to showcase that I kind of forgot as well. But you can't enable Emblem Lear. You have to do it in battle. So we just give the other characters an other rune, which is fine. It's not anything too hard anyways. So it's not that bad. Now it's time to showcase one other thing. These next 3 chapters and 2 paralogs take me 6 hours. This is where the game just starts to become long. And the final battle takes me about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yes, this was I didn't know this again when starting these battles, but they're long. They're just long and unfun. Now it's time for the paralog for this one. It's showcasing again how Emblem Lear works and everything. Now this is hopefully a straightforward
Come to my aid, hero.
fight.
I see you.
We also summon with Hyper, and we get to showcase one of the first of 3 times where we get a 5-star. I think I actually technically got 2 more 5-star, but I don't think I ever got one for the final battle. Or not for the final battle. I don't think I ever got one in the main battles, in the main chapter battles. It was always for the paralogs, which is funny. But I'm not gonna complain with that. We do get it. So yeah. Also, killing this boss actually sets more reinforcements, which is very fun. I did not realize this. So I end up dying a good amount of times for this. I got a little stubborn. I lost a few characters, so I decided to go back before, you know, I killed some of the remaining enemies. Then after killing a good amount, I decided I think it's good enough. So now we resummon the reinforcements. We still do die. This is where you can see how I'm struggling on some of the bosses because I get unlucky or I played poorly.
You never had
As
a
you
chance.
see, also you get to just clutching up clutching up. And with that, we get the last enemy and thus finish the battle. And now we also have the pack ring, which is pretty much the S rank social link of this game. The only way to get it with one character, which does help. And with that, it's now time for chapter 23, the 4 wins. I mean hounds. Yeah, these guys are a great bunch, and this is the volcano stage where it throws rocks. Honestly, this stage was ass. It's just it's not even hard. That's the thing. This stage was actually not hard. I think I lost one character for the whole battle, but that was it. I finally get to defeat these guys, and with that, the stage is complete, and we get to see one cousin of the 4 hounds truly dying. I actually like the way that this scene ends, where it's like, oh, it's a zoom out of both of these characters. Now that they're both dead, thus concluding the 4 wins. I mean the 4 hounds. Totally not even trying to say that multiple times. Anyways, it's also time to do Erika's paralogue. I'm gonna make a big note of this. I do this paralogue, and because of doing it, I actually never end up reusing Erika because of how it takes out the Erika ring from your character. Yeah, I know that's kind of stupid in hindsight, but I just completely forgot. I just wanted to get it done. These battles done. Now it's chapter 24.
I make avalanches.
This battle took me an hour. And fuck my past self, man. I didn't like this battle. Reinforcements, the avalanche. Oh my god! It got to a point where too many of my characters were dying, so I didn't level them up properly. As you can see, just right here, by losing a 38% chance, which is always so pleasant. And the avalanche mechanic again, just pushing my characters way too far back to the point where I just lost all interest in this. So I decided to just use the Sword of the Greater. Another reason that's why I allowed the Sword of the Greater.
It appears
And
I've
just end up, knocking my past self back into the past. I just used my better characters to just go to the front of the fight, and thus beating this chapter. Even though it has 11 turns, I had to restart a lot. I'm just not gonna show it because it's not fun. And this is chapter 25, the second to last chapter of the whole game, and the worst chapter. This chapter sucked. It was after just a non-stop point of getting tricked from other chapters. This bullshit mechanic, and then fucking reinforcements. They suck, dude. This game has a problem with reinforcements. Oh, look at that! You just saw those guys respawn. Guess what? Another wait. This is normal, and then guess what? I get by a 30% chance. Why? I hated this, and I'm glad that I killed her. I'm glad I beat Lumera's ass. You know what? She deserved it. I don't care. She died. She should have died. I don't care. Should have stayed there. This battle sucked. Again, it was just the constant reinforcements of the prior chapters to this point where I just got super burnt out with this game and wanted to finish it. And now it's time for the
barrier is vanished.
As you can see by the rift the hole in the sky, it's now time to give these characters even worse classes because it's funny to me, or change them back into the default class.
because, well, again, why make them stronger than they already are? So it's not that bad. Yeah, I give some characters snipers and everything like that. It's not the worst thing, but this is also where, like I said, I start to finally, you know, give these characters the resets. Also, start giving them skills. This, because like some of my characters did not have it. I even do
How hard
some
you wanna
sit-ups, which, you know, is good for
How hard
the
you want to
extra
go?
little bit of HP just in case I do die. I was originally going to do Iron Muscle, but I don't know if that's unlimited or not, so I didn't really want to do that. So I just go on expert mode because I can do it. So after I think like 5
Got
minutes
this.
of me hurting
Great
my
job.
finger,
I'm so
just
proud.
spamming the A button, we get to it, to SSS, and thus getting a total of 3 HP. Yeah, that was clearly
Very well.
And
A
we also
moment,
decide to
please.
cook. This is funny to me because of how yes, I'm showcasing me upgrading the weapons as well, but also because let's go back into the cooking
More
part,
than properly.
A solid meal to build.
where it showcases
bet
you
this
guys'
would be-
outfits, and I'm not gonna lie, I love that Anna was the only one with this outfit, by the way. And yeah, we get a C bonus, which is nice, and now I'm showcasing every single character with their weapons and their skills. I didn't want to go all out on the best skills, right? So that's why some of them are not the most effective, and most of them are just holdout or resolved because that's easy, making sure they just
The
don't
final
die.
battle
That was
is upon
mainly
us.
my whole goal.
Once we face
and now
the
it's time
Bell
for the final
Dragon,
battle.
are you ready of mind and equipped?
And this is where we finally get to it. And now I'm not ready of mine yet, so I decided to give my pack in to my homie, my guild. So, yes, now it's time to commence the final
The
battle.
portal has
After, I
destabilized
think, like,
our
20
world.
minutes.
I lack physical form,
And
as
Mark
do the
says
other
something
emblems.
very, very serious.
We may not be able to
He
hold
says he lacks
ourselves
physical form, but
physical form.
Hold it.
As do the other emblems.
he does have a physical form, and I know this because I purchased the amiibo. What does he mean by he doesn't have that? And I would showcase all of them, but not every emblem has an amiibo. Anyways, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. So now it's time to deal this boss. And this is where the fight actually truly starts. This isn't really that hard, but these characters are all max level, as you can see, so it's a little scary, and I need to make sure I play smart. So I decided to kill the side characters.
Interfere with that which I have
Also, I
sought
will
for
let this
so
cousin
long.
play and talk more later.
Such fatal hubris. You will pay for that accordingly. Witness how fragile your bonds really are.
What's happening to them?
Oh no!
I am sealing off the portal back to your world. It's what I should have done the moment you arrived here. I fear your emblem allies are too weak. They will be lost in the distortion between dimensions forevermore.
This cannot be the end. If we must part, remember all that we have done.
Marth!
Don't worry, Yosuke, I'll
emblems are-
remember.
I knew
They're
I'd have to say
gone.
goodbye someday. But I thought there was time.
So much for your precious emblems. In a matter of moments, the portal will be shut for good. Take comfort, for I shall inflict no further harm upon your world. Though you will die here as I have lived, in anguish, far from home.
We can never go home?
I've been ready to die from the start. Brodia, my land. I pray you endure.
It seems Lucia will never truly know me.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Worry not. I have no desire to prolong your suffering. When I am finished, not one trace of me in your world shall remain, as though I was never there at all.
I'll stop you.
Is that so?
Our fight isn't over. The portal's open. I can do this. If I give it my all, I can summon the emblems back to me. Look at how far we've come. Will you fight him at my side? Your faith in me gives me strength!
Yes, sister. I'm with you.
Vale!
I'll be with you every step of the way. I can't summon emblems, and I can't turn into a dragon. But I'm a royal dragon all the same. There's gotta be something I can do to help.
Yeah!
We'll all be right there with you. You've done so much for each and every one of us. So this time, we're returning the favor.
And now this is one thing of this.
There's a 100% discount on Lady Anna's aid services
I'm gonna
today.
showcase a bit of
One-time
this,
offer.
so it
No
doesn't take up too
refunds.
much. But I really like these like texts from the characters.
You think we can make a comeback?
That we have on this team.
Yeah.
I really think it's.
That's what I love about you, Divine One.
And now it's time to start the battle. Technically, this is an easy one. And we get to finally kill Samrat. Obviously, not too hard and everything like that. But well, that's it. That's the end of the playthrough. Honestly, wait, what? What does he mean by this isn't over?
Out of my way!
Oh no, it's a stage 2. I also like this music. I'm not gonna lie. And now it's also time to do phase 2 of this fight, which also summons more reinforcement and introduces the Dark Barrier from the Dark Emblems. We have to make sure we kill them, which shouldn't be too hard. And actually, some have an interaction with
again,
the Red
Duma.
Emblem. I didn't bring all
Though
of
I'm
them.
not sure you are.
because I was lazy.
Please, do no more harm. Allow your great and weary soul the rest it deserves.
But showcasing this cutscene. And
The shield
now
is gone.
we break the Dark Barrier. With that, it's time for every single character to start attacking. So we first use Kagetsu, because he has been absolutely the best carrier of this playthrough. Now, I actually tried to hopefully get that crit. So let's see if we do end up getting the crit. Even though we did get hit, we unfortunately don't get the crit, which is a bit tragic, but it's fine. I decided to now use the character that pretty much was the whole reason we could use the in the first place.
First one's free. Another one.
We're not done.
Another one.
We're not done. Get ready for the front. I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
And get a crit. Well, that was nice. Now it's time to use Ogado. I'm gonna not lie, this is also where for like Dark Inferno, this move sucks.
Hurry up and die.
It's just such a weird ass move, so I have to use Camilla attacks, otherwise I would do like 2 damage, and I just didn't want to do that. I also use it because I have Draconic Hex, which loads Samran's stat, so it can make him a little bit easier to, do damage as well. But luckily,
From me to you.
Again!
but luckily, we have a lot of characters, so we get to do it. Some damage, and now it's time to also use Samran.
Are we done here?
Yeah. And with that, it's done. Which it's almost done to the second phase or second health bar, which is good. So I decided to actually use a different character, using a summon character, not realizing that it wasn't gonna actually do too much, and I didn't want to use Ocarus because he was actually like, for some of the parts of the run, he was pretty good.
First one's free.
So while this part is playing out,
We'll
I
have
actually
to
want to talk
fight our
about
way
some
through.
of the better characters that actually did it good. Ocarus became the better bow character, which was really nice. It was just a really nice thing. He got some good crits. He also occasionally just did more damage, which was also because of his attack. He
does a bit more damage too, which is not always tricky. Because of reprisal as well, it also makes him do even more damage, which just a nice thing to have. And with that, we're going to get to the first phase. Originally, I was actually going to use Giga 11 Sword, but it didn't do a lot of damage.
Get one free! Come on!
So we use these ones.
Our bonds are far stronger than destiny.
We are fortunate enough to not have to worry about that. But yeah, Kagetsu as well was another just major carry of this playthrough. He genuinely was probably the best character. Now I am very close to getting to pretty much one phasing this dude. So I decided it's time to just veil so we can get some magic damage, because she's pretty good too, and also with Celica as well, which is nice. So originally I was actually just going to do it based alone, but I decided to use Echo instead because it would do more damage. I didn't want to get, you know, the based Echo, so I just used this, and realizing that it's going to do pretty much 32 damage, which is pretty nice. It's just a nice thing. And actually, something happens from this attack. I was not expecting. And you'll see why that was actually important. You get an 8 crit with Veil and a 32% chance, which is just nice. You know, most home characters don't get crits. But because of the 2x attack as well, we also get extra good value. Even if it's not much damage or damage, it's still that nice little thing. And with that, we go down to exactly 50. This is actually important because now it's time for a leader to go and join the mix. So I do Engage Plus, since we're right next to Mavier, who I just had, you know, given the Bond Rank 2, which makes Engage a leader even stronger. And with that, I decided to do Dragon Blast. Thus, finally concluding the battle. Blast Beam and killing Fel Samran. Thus concluding this playthrough. I think in total I lost 30 characters. Having to obviously be sad to keep them alive. And now with that, this cutscene can play. And we see him dead. Which was such a relief. And also, we get to say goodbye to the remaining Emblem.
It seems this is goodbye. But we'll never bid farewell to what we learned together.
Truly making me tear up. So sad. And no one else.
We'll always be together in spirit.
Except for
no matter the
Lucina,
distance.
obviously.
Build a bright future. Let's go back home, everyone.
I was actually going to include more characters, but
Back
I didn't want to
Elios.
make the video longer. I was going to include, I think, Lynn, because I have played her game, Erica, and those two. Corrin who? Corrin who? And with that, you can see the battle data of all of these fights. I didn't include the first few chapters, like I said earlier in the video, but with that, it is done, man. I am doing this in all-in-one recording, by the way, for this voiceover, which is why there's some pauses of me not talking or me like getting water, because talking for a whole hour is a bit rough for me. But anyways, as you can see, here are the battles that I got to do, and with that, generally just completing this is just something that's really nice. I'm happy. This took me a few days to actually do it. I had to record it a few days prior to April Fool's Day just to make it in time. Heck, this video is coming out around 2 p.m. on April Fool's Day, Eastern Standard Time, by the way. So for you guys, for some people that live more in the east side, it might be April 2nd, but this, at least for me right now, is April 1st, so it still counts as April Fool's Day. And yeah, I am happy. You know, it took a long time. It legitimately was at points where I just wanted to not play for like a few days, but I couldn't. And on top of that, I had to do some finals, a lot of assignments. My god, man, that's also why this video came a bit later. Originally I wanted to do a bit more, and that also is a little bit why some of the editing quality and some of my mistakes aren't the best. But yeah, hopefully you like it. If you guys actually do have any other thoughts, please let me know. Also, I'm including this little showcase because it actually does have some of the characters who still have the joke items, still holding them, and I think that's just a fun thing. It's not every character, because again, some characters that I recruited, I didn't use them at all, and I think that's fine. That's fine for me. But with that, it truly does conclude Fire Emblem Awakening. Can you beat with only joke items? Now is also the time to let the credits play. Even though my thoughts are engaged, even though my thoughts on the engaged story as a whole, it's kind of mixed, because it does a pretty decent job at it. I still think that the music that it plays in this little mini bit is just honestly one of the best ones. It's just so good. I love this part. So yeah. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, as always. That's it. If you guys, like I said, have any ideas for any other Fire Emblem games, right now I think the only ones that I can guarantee that I can record is for Fire Emblem on the Switch games. I do want to record Fortune of Weeds whenever it comes out. I'm going to try to get that as soon as possible. But right now I don't know. And yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get some of the 3DS games recorded, but don't quote me on that. However, if you do have some challenges for Fire Emblem on the Switch, let me know. Warriors does count. I will allow that too, because I do have Warriors on the Switch, both of them. So yeah, the spin-offs I do have. I'm gonna try to see if I can get Tokyo Mirage, but that's it. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. As always, have a good day and happy April Fool's Day. Peace out. Goodbye. And obviously, please let me know any other thoughts as well. I do know that the editing wasn't the best, and maybe this voiceover as well isn't awesome, but you know, you gotta make do for you guys. So, peace out.
Promises you made to me as you gazed into my eyes of blue, hoping that our paths would cross once again. On that day when all was lost, I remember what you said to me, that the past, our wounds and all the pain would be healed by the break of dawn. So long ago, you always stood beside and put your faith in me. I was scared and alone until we forged a bond together that would last forever. Gather up your tears, put aside your fears, bare your heart, your fake desires, reignite the dimming fires. If you play with passion, find your way to action. You can make your dream reality, be a shining star for all to see. So many times I was defeated and I'd given up hope. Teach me to care when all I love is lost and gone up in smoke. And I can't hold back these burning tears. Who will be the light in this endless night? Bonds of fire connect us, love provides, protects us. Feel the warmth of precious memories, the promises you kept to me. Bonds of hope unite.
Today's the day of my coronation. Today I'll be crowned the Divine Dragon Queen. I had hoped that all of you would be standing by my side for the occasion. But I guess not. Shine on, Emblem of Beginnings! Worth a try. I wonder if we'll ever meet again.
Aha! I knew we'd find you in here!
We must have looked everywhere.
Everyone.
The coronation is going to start any minute now.
All right, time to get changed, unless you're wearing that.
Yeah, I guess I should, huh? Huh?
Well, hurry up! Come on!
Whoa, okay, I'm coming!
Someday, in the future, our paths may cross once more. Our bonds can be reforged time and again. Whenever you desire, you need only say the word.
Engage!